Hello, this is the moment I stop everything. There's no more. This parcel will be, with an enormous amount of effort and physical work, this parcel will be transformed. It will no longer be the same. Welcome to the north face of wine. Yes, this is it. There is no going back. It's not really a break with tradition, but it's a break with what has been going on for the last 50 years in this parcel. There have been minor changes, but everything needs to be changed. I am convinced of that. I have spent months looking around in this village, this beautiful, with enormous variety. I've been looking around. I traveled all over France. I went to Bordeaux and Burgundy and Champagne, even Macon. It Everything needs to change, and this will be a real experiment. But I believe it will change the face of wine. Welcome. One month, 1 month to lay her down. I'm laughing. I don't know whether I should be laughing or crying or be completely desperate. Uh, but there, uh, there's this, there's this, this is called colza. It's a rape seed. It's from it's from green fertilizer that, where the seed just blew over in different places. And now basically covering a good part of the upper part. Here we're about 2/3 of the way up the parcel. 2/3 of the way up the vineyard. And I mean this is this is severely physical. I can't feel my feet anymore for the last 3 days. But I want to show you, in any case, uh, the challenges I have here. Essentially by myself. We have it's so steep. We have broken. We have broken posts. I found a bunch of those. The one at the head are particularly important because to lay her down, uh, the wire has to be firm. Can be loose, so that's why I left it down there. It needs to be replaced. There's another post over here that is broken. This one is completely gone. This one here is split in half. You can't see, but it's old. It's rickety. They will all need to be changed. Uh, there's a dead. A lot of these are dead. These vines, these new ones that were fairly recently planted. Few hundreds of them. We have positives. This is new. This is healthy. This is new and healthy. So this is good, but the amount of work that needs to be done is really maybe Herculean. That said, uh, I really don't know whether I should be hopeful or hopeless. But one step at a time, I think will temper my negative emotions and keep moving forward. So another thing I want to show you, since we're in this part of the vineyard, is this massive grass, what we call mut. Mut. There's another place where we'll probably go on the vineyard where the entire piece is overtaken by this, and there's nothing very useful about this grass, which is going to grow into hay, essentially, if I let it. Except that it's going to make. I need to cut this everywhere. It's everywhere, but more in some places than others. It's very thick with what we call a rotofill, a weed whacker. It's very difficult. In fact, I will show you, I found a whole bunch of plastic from using those rotofill, those weed whackers, because there's pieces of plastic everywhere. And I picked them up. The reason why it took me a month to lay her down uh, is because I had all these miscellaneous things to do. But regardless, removing all these things, laying those new vines properly so they grow properly, and get rid of this rapeseed stuff. I mean, and plus, it's very precarious up here. And actually, whoa, and actually, with 2/3 up, like I mentioned, further up is even more treacherous. Look at the size of these roots. It's enormous. So this I have to get rid of by hand with a pickaxe or something. Listen, it's dead material. Where are we going with this vineyard? We're going into viti-forestry or agroforestry. That is, this parcel is going to be this parcel that has been tended for the most part in a conventional way. The first thing to do is to restore the soil. Agroforestry is the only thing that's going to do it, although with a lot of work, in the most efficient way. Like I mentioned in episode 9, the previous episode, we need to have not only humus here, but we need to restore the mycelium network and essentially reconnect to the mountain that is full of it. We need to reconnect the two and create sort of a corridor that takes us all the way down. It's a lot of work. It's brutal, actually. I thought New York was brutal. This is brutal in a different way, uh, but enjoyable at this moment for me. I want to show you everything I collected, and then I left a bunch on post at the end post. All these plastic, because we lay her down and then we tie her up. So they used to use all this plastic. I found hundreds and hundreds. I don't want to clean up my parcel, my vineyard here. I found this sort of zip ties. I found hundreds of those as well. So I cleaned up. That's why it took me so long. And this is the cloth from these things, these white things we showed that were breaking down in the vineyard. Hundreds of those as well. Because, like I mentioned, even this is basically my vineyard, right? The idea of returning the forest in the vineyard is to create this mycelium network in the ground, to return to this network and have a live soil. I went to a presentation this week where the problem of dead soil is real everywhere. What we're basically doing, as I mentioned in the previous episode, is that the soil is only a medium to hold the plants, no longer to feed the plants at all. The feeding is done chemically with fertilizers. And what needs to be done is to return nutrients, but not only nutrients, because some organic winemakers are doing that. They plow the land, which is, in my view, a big mistake. That's not what is today scientifically valid. The validity is really what is an ecosystem that shares with itself and that feeds itself. And the best example we have is the forest. That's why it's called viti-forestry. We return the forest. We want decaying matter decaying barks, decaying trees, decaying leaves and fruits. And the idea is really to return the soil not only in a nutrient way, but in a decaying way and in an alive way with the mycelium, with mushroom inside the soil, feeding with earthworms, bacteria, viruses, and fungal matter. It's absolutely crucial. It's actually crucial to do that. Now, to do that, to give you a scale, my parcel is about 1.3 hectare, which is tiny, but it's a great experiment. I need to return about 400 fruit trees in this parcel. In Burgundy, at the turn of the century, there were 400 fruit trees per hectare in Burgundy. That no longer happens. Now we find 8. That's no there's no reproduction here. There's no self-feeding system, ecosystem that feeds on itself. It still needs. It's a little bit better, but it's nowhere near what we need to do. 400 trees. I'm gonna do what do you call it? A representation, a simulation of what this vineyard is like today and what it will be in 5 years from now. It's gonna be very radically different for the soil, and I think for the beauty of it itself. As I am, this vineyard is right around my house. Uh, I'm like everybody else. I would love to be surrounded by beauty, and might as well do it. Pick up the challenge. I hope I can do it. That was really desperate last week, I have to say. I was hurting so many places I never knew I had. But it's best to be hopeful. Although very hard to be hopeful, it is best to be. We have seen in previous episodes uh, various wine presses, essentially wood. But here, as you enter the village, we have this wine press. There are hundreds of these, and the base is made out of stone. And the great dilemma, it's a stone, this is a stone that's about 1.5 feet thick. So you can imagine how much it weighs. And the manpower required to move these things out of cellars, generally in basements. It was not unusual to build the cellar around this. People actually bought this and installed them on the property and then built the cellar around it. It's enormously heavy, but as with machinery, we can get them out and so on. It's very cumbersome regardless. And there's a sense of history. Like I mentioned in a previous episode, it's a sense of history, and that getting rid of this is really shameful, especially in a village where we've been making wine for over 2,000 years. So this one here is on display, was given away, and the village picked it up, and it's here for anybody to enjoy. Nobody wants to get rid of these, and nobody knows what to do with them either. My uncle will take a few pictures, sent me uh, cliches of one that is inside the house, and they have no idea what to do. It's in the laundry room now. They have no idea. They don't want to break it. It's a big dilemma of keeping tradition, what to do with them. Some people have turned these into beds, put a mattress onto them. Uh, Interesting, but not exactly your IKEA of the day. Right here, you see another piece, another press that people don't know what to do with. You can see that they use them at the entrance of their domains because it's very difficult emotionally to get rid of these pieces that are ancestral. Their own grandfathers, great grandfathers used them. There was labor, manual labor, and now the idea is always to beautify one space. So they use these antique pieces, and you will see another one coming up that is literally in a garden, used again for decorative purposes. Thank you very much for watching this episode. That is a turning point in the series since we introduced viti-forestry, what will completely transform, we think, for the next 100 years, agriculture. Thank you so very much in front of this other press in one of the villages here, one of my neighbor, again, because it's so emotional. The entire families worked with these and they just cannot part. Next time, we'll see my own cellar. We'll probably continue looking at presses that I need to buy before harvest, that is in a few months. We'll talk more about viti-forestry and what will happen concretely on the parcel already now. And don't forget, in vines we trust.